People actually thought that Elijah Wood was this size. Black and white tans. And then look, she passes.
Well, even her skin, like her skin.
Yeah, on the arms, yeah.
This clip of Wizard of Oz is probably my favourite out of this video. And what do you know? It comes at the end of the video.
Hello, and welcome back to Cinema Rules. This is our new show called How to Hollywood. We're on episode 2, and really what we wanted to do with this is delve into why we love movies in the first place and pick apart how the magic of movies is achieved. In this episode today, I've chosen 2 titans of Hollywood: The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, and The Wizard of Oz.
Oh wow, with the Wizard of Oz.
So, 2 utter classics. Obviously everyone's seen Lord of the Rings, Sean.
And
But do they know how a particular
how Lord of the Rings?
And you must be the Monopoly guy. Hey, thanks for the free parking.
Deep dive into exactly how these films are made. That's interesting for us. We're going to go behind the scenes. Hopefully it's interesting for you guys.
If they want a deeper dive, Sean, where are they going to go?
Well, you can go to our Patreon page, link in the description below. This is where you'll find our uncut versions of these types of videos. How to Hollywood episode 2 uncut is now on Patreon.
And I think our first How to Hollywood episode is about twice as long on Patreon.
Yeah.
So we do sit around and chat for quite a bit longer.
Yes.
So if you're interested, go and check it out.
Yeah. But without further ado, let's get into the first clip.
Sean, the first one I have chosen is from one of my favourite films ever made. And one of the best experiences I've ever had in the cinema, which is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
You're late.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins.
Viggo Mortensen, who plays Aragorn, is now older than Gandalf, than Ian McKellen was here.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to be a hobbit.
It's not all that, mate.
This is the shot.
It is.
People actually thought that Elijah Wood was this size. That's how they do. That is how they do it. He just is that small. That was the first clip. Well, the first film that I've chosen there, Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring. We're talking about the differences in size between the characters, and the fact that you got a hobbit and a large wizard or a human there at the same time.
The incredible use of practical effects. So
it's not one thing. That's the key thing, isn't it? It's a seamless transition between lots of different filming techniques. You've initially, when he's standing there on that hilltop, on that ledge, you've got the body double shot from behind, which is perhaps the easiest way of showing that size difference. But this is a technique called forced perspective. They have actually built a cart here, a wagon here, that has Elijah Wood sitting further behind Ian McKellen there. And it takes a lot of hefty performance on the actor's part as well to imagine that other actor is in a specific person and in front of them. I think if you've seen this before or previously, before Peter Jackson makes these movies, it's always kind of stationary. But putting it on this wagon is a really kind of simplistic way to just make the scene a little bit more engaging and fluid and
more real,
more active, more real. Yeah, more real.
Seems more real to the audience because how are they doing it? And
it's only one shot really, because it's cut between lots of close-ups to the actors' faces as well. More body doubles. When Elijah Wood is staring up and it's a close-up on his head, you can see kind of Gandalf's beard and hat, but you know that it's a model that's being created there.
But not even that. Like the simple woodwork that Frodo is holding onto has to be significantly larger than the one Gandalf is sitting next to in order to keep the size perspective.
So in reality, they always built 2 sets as well for the scenes with the hobbits in, because you've got when they're alongside humans and elves and so on, because you have to have that change in perspective as well. So you've got a much smaller kind of bag end set built later on for Gandalf than you do for Elijah Wood and the Hobbits. This completely changed in the Hobbit as well, as in the Hobbit films.
It completely changed.
Yeah, so they still used this perspective technique occasionally, but it was obviously a lot of green screen as well. They actually had them on 2 separate sets instead of being on the same sets at the same time.
So they didn't
when
actually...
Gandalf performed in An Unexpected Journey, and there's the famous quote from Ian McKellen where he's like, I didn't become an actor for this, and he like cried on set.
Really?
Because it was just him and green screen.
And he wasn't actually performing alongside another actor. They were filming on 2 separate stages.
Yeah. Why do studios do that?
It will mainly be down to time.
So more time. Cost. More time is spent in post-production with it rather than in actual physical production.
I think a lot of people forget that the movie industry is an industry. It's a business. It needs to make money in order to survive. And these shortcuts needed in a film studio, you need to have these ideas to cut corners to save money and time in order to continue, especially now with a industry that's competing a lot against streaming sites and television.
I see what you mean there by cutting corners, but I feel like obviously Peter Jackson has a background. If you haven't seen Brain Dead, we've reacted to it on the channel in kind of B-movie horror, right? And you have to cut a lot of corners there. You have to find inventive ways with a lower budget to create the effect you need. And this is it. It's these kind of films, and it's the practical effects here. Not that CGI doesn't do this, but it's these kind of films that kind of break barriers in filmmaking and create techniques that can then be used later on that are so effective. But it is seamless. All you would need to do is move that camera slightly, and it would be very noticeable that he's sitting in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible, really. It's such a simple technique, but it's so effective to the human eye. It tricks the human eye in such a way that it just sells it so well. And not to forget Ian McKellen's or Gandalf's watch. Do you see that?
I don't remember seeing it in the film, but I've seen people mention it.
Yeah, there's a scene in the film where he's at the very end of The Return of the King that you can spot he's wearing a watch.
In the battle scene. Yeah, I love that. There was, remember in Game of Thrones, I think it was the last season, there was a Starbucks cup in plain view. How do things like that fall through the cracks?
Have a look.
That's not real.
Yeah. So you heard it here first. The watch on Ian McKellen's wrist is fake. You can see that his whole wrist is covered by his gown.
Yeah.
So someone's back engineered that. So well done, whoever that was.
You pranked Sean.
you pranked everyone. Everyone was convinced. So I've learned something today, Tom, and it's not what you told me.
No, you already knew everything that I said.
Yeah.
So. If you want to join us on our quest to pick apart the intricacies and magic of Hollywood and see how everything works, then join us on our quest. We're almost at 100k subs, Sean.
Yes, 39% of you watching today are subscribed to the channel. So there's a big percentage of people that watch our channel but are not subscribed, and we're so close to that 100k subscriber mark. It would be a massive achievement for the channel. If you're wanting to see more videos like this as well as our movie reactions, hit that subscribe button
and ping me on notification bell
and comment down below and like a video.
And carry on watching right now.
Yeah, there you go.
1939.
1939. Okay.
The beginning of the Second World War. The Wizard of Oz is released. It used to give me nightmares.
Oh, is it that? Did they just film an actual tornado?
So it's the tornado here.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a real life tornado. What the how?
It looks great, doesn't it?
It looks insane. It's not a matte painting, it's moving. A pre-filmed Twister that they've projected onto the background. That's great.
Go on then, Sean. What is your guess?
My guess would be, well, first of all, it looks like it's the same clip of the Twister, but played over and over again in a larger scale and a smaller scale, and bits of smoke and debris passed through it. So it must be like a short clip, and I believe that they may have pre-recorded a Twister and projected it onto a screen, because I don't know how else they would do it. It's not like a Hoover and they've fucking recorded what's going on in the Hoover. What the hell?
So there's loads of different ways that they've crafted this. they are on a set, and there is matte paintings in the background. Okay. The set is designed on a slant, so it is more difficult, and it mimics the pull of the kind of twister as well.
Oh, okay,
for
that's
the
interesting.
actual. I was going to say staff for the actors, but how they filmed it is it's like a muslin stocking, like that someone would wear on their leg. You know, that really thin kind of tights like material.
The thing that you like to wear on Friday night.
Yeah, every Friday. They've essentially wrapped it around a fan that kind of inflates it and blows it. Okay.
Yeah.
They filmed that, and then they've used a projector to project it bigger. Okay. So it mimics the kind of
twist.
The twist of the twister. But obviously they can create that large scale as well, and then they use bigger fans for the actual weather and the debris and so on.
So I was kind of right in saying that it was something pre-filmed.
You said they filmed a real twister.
Yeah, no, hang on a minute. The technique used, I'm talking about. They pre-filmed something and then they projected it onto the backdrop.
Let's have a look at the second clip then, because it's a different scene.
I wonder what it was like for the actor to see colour for the first time. Was it a first reaction?
Here you go, look.
See...
How did they film that, Sean?
So you've obviously got the colour outside the door. I think the set would have been painted that colour. Her opening of the door is one shot, and she's out of view when you can see colour. And then this is a separate shot of her walking through in her coloured costume now, or just her in colour. I think that was a separate shot to her opening the door.
You're wrong.
Am I?
It's one seamless shot. There's no edit there.
There's no edit?
There's no edit there.
So I think the set is painted. But it's how they get her in colour all of a sudden. Unless they literally painted her in that cyan colour on the film, frame by frame.
No.
How the f*** do they do it?
So, this is how they do it. We have the cut here coming up. Okay, now.
Here.
This is filmed in colour.
Yeah.
That's a different actress. Okay. She now passes it off. So, the set and the actual actress were painted in the sepia black and white tones. And then look, she passes.
Well, even her skin, like her skin.
Yeah, on the arms, yeah. So then they pass it off, pass the dog off to Dorothy, and she steps out into a real set.
It's so smart, isn't it? It's so simple.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think of editing techniques and how we could use editing to help advance this transition.
Yeah. But so, I mean, it's a bit of sleight of hand, really, isn't it? Because the audience is so focused on the colour that they don't notice the actress until she comes in full colour herself.
I was partly correct about the painted set.
Yeah, wait, what did you say? Didn't you say that...
I said the set is painted...
But you thought they painted it frame by frame. You didn't pick out there was two different...
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
But that's because you had a close-up on her face just before, didn't
you? It's like you said, it's a trick.
Magic.
Just tricking the audience to believing in something.
It is, and that's what actually we said at the very start. Like, how is this movie magic accomplished?
It's a magic trick.
Created. But you can imagine and envision the gasps in the audience when they see that Technicolor.
They would have been like, wow.
How do you find a simple yet effective solution for those points in film so you can suspend disbelief for your audience?
It's crazy. This clip of Wizard of Oz is probably my favourite out of this video. And what do you know? It comes at the end of the video.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode of How to Hollywood. Let us know which one of these clips was your favourite down in the comments below. And are there any amazing scenes in films that you absolutely love for whatever reason? Production design, editing, costumes,
sets, miniatures. Comment down below what you want to see us cover and want us to discuss and experience for the first time and really dive deep onto exactly how they're made. We are both in agreement that we love doing these videos, not purely to satisfy the audience, you guys.
No, this is
because we're learning ourselves, and that's so great.
It's like a history lesson.
It is. But don't forget that if you want to watch more discussions of us, or a longer video or a longer version of this video, head over to our Patreon page. Go check out our Patreon page where we dive even deeper into these scenes. There is a scene out of Wizard of Oz where it's a snow scene where they're all covered in asbestos. Because they used to use asbestos.
There's a lot of rumours around this film though, isn't there? Wasn't there a rumour that there's a munchkin hanging in the background as well at one point?
Oh, I don't know about that. Stay tuned. But thank you for watching. Again,
see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe, like, video, comment down below. Cheers. Bye.